Look at you standing with your creation. A story you came up with. You dreamt up this story. First of all, tell everybody who you are. Introduce yourself to the class, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Mukhtar Omar Sharif Mukhtar and I'm the writer and director for the Cirque show Echo.
I want to talk about writing Echo.
Yeah.
Writing for Cirque du Soleil.
Yes.
Cirque's history of cultural impact is it's a phenomenon. It's a global thing.
Yeah.
You learn something new every time you go see a Cirque show. They move you. If done right and told well, the story will captivate you.
Yeah.
The only other organizations capable of really doing what you guys do are like Disney. Perhaps maybe Pixar, which is Disney. Some of the best storytellers on the planet. How do you, as a writer, overcome the idea that what you are going to do has to outdo what was done before by Cirque? Because that's a tall order.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very good question because there's been a lot of greats that have come from Cirque. You know, when you think about people like Robert Lepage, you think about Dragon, these guys are the icons who've made Cirque what they are. But in each show, I like to believe that you have the personality of the designers, you have the personality of the creators. So what I feel and what I create is not going to be the same as what any other director feels and creates. So
Right.
I think you have to create from that honest point of view, from that place. And I believe if you do that, your work becomes authentic. Your work becomes who you are.
Right.
If you try and replicate what's been done before, then you're going to fail. You're going into a failure. So I think with Cirque, the beauty thing is you don't have to be literal with the story. What you want to do is you want to make people feel. You want to make people connect, relate, and I think that's where I really took inspiration from when creating the show.
So take me into the writer's room then when you are creating. Is this you by yourself? Do you have a team of people you write with? How does that work?
So at the beginning, as directors, we get approached about what do you want to write? What we want to create a new show. So you have to really think about the surrounding in the world right now.
Right.
You have to be relevant, and you have to write something that can be relevant in 10 years, 20 years time. So it's not something that you're going to come up with in a day. You know what I mean? So I think for me, the idea of connection was very important because the pandemic happened, because the world is so separated at the moment. The global warming, there's so many things happening. So I thought, let me do an inspirational message where people, even if we give people a little nudge, not preaching, but just give them a little nudge and an awareness of what's happening around us, then we're on the right track. And then as soon as I have that message, I bring a team together around the table. Lighting designers, costume designers, choreographers, and I tell them what I want to say. And then we all create together on how can we bring this to life.
At what point in time does the music come into the entire equation?
From the very
Because
beginning.
so literally that's
Very
from
beginning.
the get?
Yeah,
Okay.
as soon as we know what the message we want to say is, we need to bring the composers in because they need to feel what is the emotion we want to bring to this audience.
Right.
So we can't bring them at the end, otherwise it becomes cold. The music becomes unrelatable. So they have to be there from the beginning so they can give us their feedback because sometimes music can influence the concept. It's not always just concept influence.
In this case, the music's encouraging empowerment. It's influencing one to become an empowered person. Tell me what went into that.
Indeed, it's empowerment for the music. We had to think about empowerment. We had to think about connection. We had to think about also vulnerability. I think vulnerability is very important in today's world. We have to know what's happening around us and we have to be a part of the solution. So the music had to give us that feeling of emotion.
But you need great characters too, and there's one over your shoulder right now whom you created. First of all, tell us who this is and tell us what went through your mind as you dreamt this woman, this heroine, this strong, empowered female up.
Well, this heroine's name is Future. Now, the whole inspiration behind her is the only people I think that can really make a huge difference to the world is the youth of today.
Right.
She represents the youth of today. I also like the fact that she's female too. The fact that a lot of females are doing a lot more in the world today. Empowerment. They need. I believe women should lead the world. I really do believe that because they don't lead from a point of testosterone. I always say that. So that's why I thought it was very important that our heroine was a female. Our heroine was someone that the female kids can look at and say, I'm inspired by that. I want to be like that. I want to make a difference. So.
And you know what? With women leading the world, everything would make a lot more sense because there wouldn't be any of this, like you said, testosterone, but then there wouldn't be any of this dumb boyitis going on.
None of that. None of
Right.
that.
We'd be calm. There'd be no wars. It'd be like, get it done. If you don't get it done, mama's not going to be happy.
Exactly.
As the person who was integral to creating this story we're going to see through October here under the big top at Tyson's 2 in the DMV, tell me, what is something whimsical, something fun that maybe people don't always look out for that you personally love about the production?
That's a very, very good question. I would say, look at how the whimsical thing that people may miss is the personality sometimes that this huge cube that we have in a show. It's
Sure.
a 2-story high cube that we have.
I think we see that cube right there.
Indeed, that does different things throughout the show. You know, it's a
Right.
projection surface, but at the same time, it deconstructs, it reconstructs. There's performances inside it, there's performances on the outside. I want people to just appreciate what this technological feat that's happening under a big top. This is
Right.
something that usually, you know, we sit in one place and we leave it. But
Right.
we're actually touring this. We take it
Right.
apart, we put it back together. So when you watch the show, look at that and think about that and see, you know, the work that have
Just how much actually went into it that you don't stop to think about. And I think it's interesting you say that you're taking this on the road. You guys are here through the month,
Yes.
then you head off to Atlanta,
Yes.
and then you just keep on going into the new year. What is the end game for this presentation? Vegas, a residency, a permanent sort
I
of?
wouldn't say Vegas because Vegas, we already have shows there.
Sure.
Sir. I would say, you know, travel the world, inspire as many people as we can with this message, and inspire as many young girls as we can as well.
Right.
You know, really, it's an important thing for us. I have twins, I
Right.
have 2 girls, you know,
Right.
and I want them to be inspired by this too.
Well, as a girl dad whose daughter just went back to college in Emerson and Boston this week, I got to tell you, I look forward to her coming home because since I know now we've got through October to see this, she and I
Yes.
will be back.
Oh, you have to.
Before I let you go,
Yes.
what is the Cirque secret? There's got to be something in the sauce that has made Cirque du Soleil as successful for as long as it's been. Nobody captures that lightning in a bottle. You guys do it repeatedly. What is it?
That's a very, very good question. What is Cirque's secret? I think if I was to put, I mean, everybody's going to have a different answer, I think, to
Sure.
that question. I mean, if I was to answer that, I think Cirque have found a way to speak to everybody.
Right.
You know, when you hear the music is not specified at one culture or one type of audience. It's very universal. When you think about the way Cirque tells story, it's not through words.
Right.
You know, Cirque, they do it through action. They do it through pictures.
Right.
And I think that's also something very innovative that they did with the circus.
Right.
So I think those two combinations together, I think, give us a widespread of audience that we can reach. And I think that's where they really mastered and we're able to benefit from as well.
Last question.
Yes.
What does this mean, standing here knowing that you are influencing the world? A young man from Somalia
Yes.
living a global dream.
Yes.
Did you ever think it would come this far?
Oh, never. I never thought. You know what? I always loved creating. I always loved art. I mean, I went to university for forensic science, you know,
Right.
which is completely the opposite of what I'm
Sure.
doing right now. But I always knew there was a calling in me that I like to create things. Things that in my head I wanted to write on paper. So as soon as I got the opportunity to do it, I jumped with both hands.
Right. And the rest will be history. I can't wait to see it. Well, congratulations on your success so far. Thank you for your incredible art.
Thank you.
They say that art well done will influence culture and the world as a result. And you, sir, are the muse behind it. So congratulations on your success. Have a great tour here in DC and wherever the tour may take you around the world. Thank you again for the time.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.